I'm so thankful to be here and to be moving with you. Let's start sitting upright in our pelvis and walk your feet nice and wide. With the outer edges of your feet turned straight. So if you walk your feet so wide that the feet have to turn out to the side, maybe you went a little bit too far. Not to say that this isn't okay to do sometimes, but only go so far that it feels comfortable to turn the outer edges of your feet straight. And then you may have to work a little harder to keep your thighs open here. That's part of the work that we're doing. But from here, with your thighs open nice and wide, pelvis upright, ribs relaxed down, bring your hands down low in front of you, like above your knees, and bring your pinky fingers together, and then open your arms out to the sides. Bring your pinky fingers back together and lift your arms up a little bit and open. And bring the pinky fingers together, lift the arms up a little. Just remember, when you're opening, you're not thrusting your ribs or your chest forward. You're more just expanding out to the side. And then bring your pinky fingers together and go a little bit higher and open. And let's do one more like that. Pinky fingers together, a little bit higher without the ribs coming up, and open. And then with your arms out by your side, your palms facing each other, we'll just go slowly down. So now your palms face away from each other and slowly up. And you want to work, especially if you're dealing with a lot of shoulder tension, or let's say you just know that you don't move your shoulders around all day long throughout the day in a variety of ways, work with your arms a little bit forward, your hands a little bit in front of your shoulders, and always go slowly at first too when you're moving your shoulders in unique ways. Pulling our arm bones back often puts our arms and our shoulders in a more vulnerable position. So if you have a weakness in your shoulder, even something that you're not aware of, just something that's come on over time, either for repetitive motion or lack of motion, pulling your arms too far back can kind of trigger that. So start with your arms slightly forward and move a little bit slower. And let's take a few more here. Start to tune into your breath. Feel your inhales and your exhales. And then especially for what we're going to do next, you want to work with your arms a little bit forward. So just not pulling them back behind you, a little bit forward. All right, next time your arms go up somewhat high, they're a little bit forward, go slow, rotate your arm bones all the way in one direction, rotate all the way in the other. If you get a lot of clicking or popping, go slower. Rotate in one direction, rotate in the other direction. Arms a little lower by your sides. Rotate from the upper arm bone and rotate the other direction. Really try to turn from the elbows, from the thumbs. Rotate and rotate. Arms go a little bit lower. Rotate and rotate, rotate, rotate. Arms a little bit lower. Rotate, rotate from the upper arm bone. Rotate all the way one direction. Rotate all the way in the other direction. And then from there, let your arms come down. Walk your feet in and then straighten your legs in front of you. And we'll start with the right foot. You can actually hold on to the seat of your chair or the back of your chair if that helps you feel more stable. Also a little bit of a chest stretch here. Relax your ribs down. And then from here, we'll tip 1.1 foot down, flex the ankle actively without pulling back the toes, point your other foot, flex actively, point and flex, and then to the other foot, point and flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Now one ankle at a time, or actually let's do both at a time. With your ankles flexed, turn the inner edges of your feet away from you, and then slowly rotate and turn the outer edges of the feet away. So you're simply twisting your ankles. Rotate your ankle, inner arch goes away, outer edge of the foot. Inner arch, outer edge of the foot, inner arch, outer edge of the foot. One more, inner arch, outer edge of the foot, and then come back to center. And you can bend your knees and grab a block or whatever you use for a block. We are definitely going to use a block or some other props to lift in our hands throughout class. So if you have an extra rolled up mat, whatever you use for the block, you want to have it nearby. But we're going to start, and you can do this without your foot on a block. Put the block on the highest height in front of your right foot and put the heel of your foot up so your right leg is straight, your left ankle's right underneath your left knee. And then from here, with our right leg long, we're going to do some pelvic rotation. So you're rotating back like you're sitting on your sit tailbone, and then rotate the top front of your pelvis forward so it's more over the bottom pubic bone. And just notice as you rotate your pelvis if you can feel the change on the back of your right leg. And if you can't feel the change, eventually over time what will happen is when you tilt your pelvis upright, you'll feel more of a pull along the back of your right leg. Let's do that one more time. Rotate the pelvis back and rotate the pelvis forward. Now try to keep the pelvis in that upright position and just rotate it a little bit more forward and come back. So you're not tucking your pelvis back here at all. You're keeping the pelvis upright and you're rotating a little more forward. A little bit goes a long way, and come back up. Try not to point your foot at all when you rotate. Keep the ankle flexed. Rotate forward a little bit more and come up. And rotate forward a little bit more and come up, and then switch sides. So I'm going to do the second side from the side so that you can see, just in case you weren't sure. So stack the block in front of your left foot, put your heel up, your toes up in the air, keep your ankle flexed, and then we're going to start by just letting the pelvis sink back and rotating the pelvis upright. And if you don't have any range of motion here, like your pelvis won't move, then get your hips higher. Stack your hips on a couple towels or a couple pillows. Getting your hips higher than your knees will often give you a little bit more motion to work with. Good, let's do one more like that. Now you're going to keep your pelvis in that upright position and try to just go forward the tiniest little bit. It's small because we're trying to just pull a little bit extra on the hip, and once we start to dive down with the spine, we pull a little bit more on the spine. So torso comes upright, the pelvis is still upright, rotate a tiny little bit more. And you might feel the pull up around your hip in your lower back a little bit, shouldn't be painful. And come back up and rotate forward a little, ankle stays flexed, leg stays nice and straight, and come back up. And rotate a tiny little bit forward, and then come on up, and you can step your foot off of there, and you can take that block and bring it back, and then from here, sitting up tall with your feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, hold onto the chair behind you, any height. If you tend to hike your shoulders up by your ears, hold on a little lower, bend your elbows, and then hug them in as you lift your chest up where we don't normally want to hold our chest, and relax our ribs down. Not to say that we don't want that motion, we just don't want that to be our resting place. And lift up, you might feel your shoulder blades come together, and relax the ribs down and back. And you're trying to do all this motion without your pelvis tilting forward and back. Take your time, go slow, a couple more like that. Breathing. All right, so we want our pelvis upright, our ribs relaxed down. Scoot your left hip to the center of the chair and extend your right leg out to the side. Same with the arm bone. Don't pull it back too far. Just have it be in line with your hip or a little bit forward. You can be on the inner edge of your foot or the side of your foot. I like to mix it up. Reach your arms out to the side, and then we're going to be reaching the left arm towards the right hand. First, you're going to reach across and you're going to try to line it up with that arm. Doesn't matter how far it comes across or not. And open. And line it up. And open. Now when you bring the left arm across, you're going to try to go higher than the arm. Just a little bit. A little bit higher. And open. And a little bit higher. And open. Now go a little bit below the arm. A little bit lower, and open, a little bit lower, and open. Now go a little bit lower than that. A little bit lower and across, and open nice and slowly. A little bit lower, and open. Bring your arms down, slide your right leg in, scoot your right hip to the center of the chair, extend your left leg out to the side, your ankle, knee, and hip in line, or your ankle a little bit forward, straighten that leg all the way, reach your arms out, and now we'll reach the right arm to the left arm. First, about the same height, which is low chest height. Reach the arm across, and open. Reach across, and open. Let the arm go a little higher. Reach across higher, and open. Take your time. Reach across higher, and open. Go a little bit lower. Reach underneath a little, and open. Reach right underneath the arm, and open. A little bit lower. Reach lower and across, and open. Reach lower and across, and open. And then let your arms come down, slide that leg in, walk your feet nice and wide. Now here's where you might want some different props to work with. And at first, weight makes no difference, but over time you might want things that are heavier and heavier. Like this foam block is not very heavy, but I'll just show you the movement with this, and you can work with things that are heavier. You can really work with any object around your house as long as you feel that it's safe. You're going to hold on. If you're using a block, you're not using your fingertips, you're just using the palms of your hands. If you have an oddly shaped something that you're going to use in your hands, you might have to hold on with your fingers. I'll show you that in a moment. But hug your elbows in. Really think of pelvis upright and ribs. Exaggerate them down and back. And keep the ribs down and back as you slowly lift your arms up. And they might not go as high because you're keeping your ribs down and back, but that's okay. That's how we improve the range of motion, at the same time improving our core strength. So ribs stay down and back as you lift the arms up. If your elbows tend to pop out, hug them in a little bit and slowly lower. And if you have an old injury, or maybe just you feel this because you use one arm more than the other, you might notice that you can lift one side a little bit higher than the other. But just stick with the side that you don't have as much range of motion in. And slowly lift up and lower down. And you'll feel, if you really keep your ribs down and back, you'll have another chance to do that in a moment, you'll feel that the shoulders have to work more. All right, now with your elbows just hanging by your side, palms flat towards the ceiling. This is a small motion. We haven't done this one in a while, and it's really, really good for the shoulders because it gets us out of that constant internal rotation. And in here, with this move, you could also, let's say that you practice this every day for a week very consistently, and you feel very comfortable with it, you could add a little hand weights to this movement. Elbows by the side, ribs really relax down. You want to feel as though you're not squeezing your shoulder blades together too much on your back. So if you feel that way, bring your elbows forward a little bit more. And then you're just seeing, can you turn your upper arm bone a little bit more each time without force. All right, let's do more log raises, as they're called. So something in your hands. I'm going to change it up just to show you something different. So this is just a heavy-ish pillow. So you could use just any kind of household item that you feel safe with. Hold it between your hands. Think pelvis upright, ribs relax down, and slowly lift up. Elbows pop out, hug them in. Slowly go down. And slowly go up. It's okay if you have limited range of motion, slowly go down. Let's do two more like that. Slowly go up, breathing, and slowly down, and slowly go up, and slowly go down. Okay, one thing to consider, we're going to do something standing too, if you happen to have things lying around, is that like this dome that I have is wider than this block. It's hard to see if they're next to each other, but it's much wider. If you have a lot of tension in your shoulders, having something wider between your hands is going to help adapt them easier than holding onto something that's more narrow. So keep that in mind. But from here, let's go ahead and bring your elbows together as close as they'll come. If they don't come very close, you can stick a block or a pillow between them. Maybe pinky fingers come together. Really let the ribs relax down without the pelvis tilting back, and little lifts up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now find some place in the center and keep your elbows close, split your forearms, and bring them together. And split, and together. Notice if when you split, your hands come in towards you. Try to keep them right where you started. And together, and split, and together. And then reach your arms out, open them out to the side, relax your arms down, and then you can walk your feet in back to hip distance apart, and we'll spin around for our first lunge. So spin around to your right, slide your left leg back if that's the leg that is back, and then from here, with the knee right under the hip, we'll flip the ankle a few times, top of the foot down, toes tuck under, gently push back through the heel. Top of the foot down, toes tuck under, press back through the heel. Top of the foot down, toes tuck under, press back through the heel. Top of the foot down, toes tuck under, press back through the heel, and then from here, a little rotation. It's a very baby rotation. You're just rotating from your big toe to the pinky toe side of your foot. You're not trying to go so far that any part of your toes come up off the floor. You're just rotating side to side, so it's a very small motion. Take a couple more like that. And then pause when your ankle is centered and try not to let your knee go forward, and maybe go slow, micro lift of your toes up off the floor. If your leg cramps, just come out, stretch it out, rub on the tissues a little bit, but otherwise, micro lifts. And then if you feel very comfortable with micro lifts, you can start to lift slowly a little higher. But you don't want to rush to going higher because every height uses different parts of the muscle. So just a barely lift uses one part, lifting all the way up uses another part. So go slow if you're deciding to lift higher. And then from there, slide that leg forward, spin around to your lunge on the other side. Slide the knee back behind you, toes tucked under behind you, and then we'll top of the foot, gently tuck the toes under, press back gently through the heel. Top of the foot, and toes tuck under. Top of the foot, and toes tuck under, and top of the foot, toes tuck under. Very small movement, little rotation side to side. Almost like you don't want any part of your toes to come up off the mat. You're just rotating from side to side, if they tuck under all the way, of course. Small motion is good motion. All right, find that centered spot. Keep your thigh bone going in the backwards direction as you lift a little and lower. Lift and lower. And then if you feel comfortable and the knee's not going forward too much, then you can start going a little bit higher. Go slow. Feel the back of the leg muscles engage. It doesn't take a lot. Ribs relax down, especially if you're feeling any tension in your lower back. Pelvis is upright. Breathing. One more like that. And then slide the leg forward. Okay, spin around to the front of the chair. Now you have options here. If crossing your ankle over your knee is not an option, you put the block inside your left foot and you put the outer edge of your foot up, or you can cross the ankle over your knee. Even better is try to start doing it without using your hands, and then just see over time you can start doing it without tucking your pelvis under, which is even more challenging. But once you're here, either on the block or with your ankle over your knee, let's rotate our pelvis here. So the pelvis rotates back, rotates forward. Try not to move the ribs at all. There's no spinal motion. The ribs stay down. It's just the pelvis going back and forward and back and forward and back and forward. Hold in the upright position, maybe tilt a little bit forward and come back up. So you're not tucking the pelvis under, you're staying somewhat upright and you're just going a little bit forward and come back. Try to relax that thigh open. Tilt a little bit forward and come back and tilt a little bit forward. Hold and slowly move your torso a little bit right to left. Breathing. A little bit goes a long way. Go slow. Relax your belly. All right, so most of you are probably familiar with rib breathing. We're going to pause here in the middle in a little bit of a forward fold position and focus on the muscles around the backs and the sides of your rib cage and take an inhale, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, hug in, 2, 3, 4, and then slowly come up and let's switch feet. So either block goes inside the left foot, cross over, or see how much you have to use your hands to cross over and then rotate your pelvis back up right. Ankle on the block or on your knee, rotate your pelvis back and forward. Try to really feel like it's the pelvis moving. Breathing. Sitting back like we often go to unconsciously throughout the day and rotating upright. Back towards the tailbone and forward towards the sitting bones, towards the bottom of the buttocks. All right, next time you come up right, really relax that left thigh out to the side, tilt forward just a little, and come up. Tilt forward just a little, and come up. Tilt forward, and come up. Tilt forward, hold, and a little bit of movement of your torso from side to side. A little goes a long way. So it doesn't need to be much. Relax your belly, especially if you feel tension in your lower back. Go slower, make the range of motion smaller. And then find that center position and we'll take a rib breath here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then slowly come up, uncross. You can move the block out of the way, walk your feet nice and wide, outer edges of feet straight, inner thighs open, pelvis upright, ribs relaxed down. I know I say it over and over again. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. These are the keys to all the movements we do. And of course, when we're standing, it's also our feet and the position of our thigh bones and everything, but sitting, this is where it starts. Open your arms out to the sides, hands a little bit lower than your shoulders, palms face up, twist from the belly. Really focus on the belly. Don't turn so much from the neck. Turn from the belly as you turn to the right and turn to the left. Breathing. Turn to the right and turn to the left. Turn to the right. Turn to the left. Turn to the right, turn to the left. All right, back to center. Legs walk in. Let's go around to a lunge to the left first. So spin around to your left, slide the leg back, pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Drop your chin down to your chest, really relax the back of your neck. And then we'll take a few rib breaths here. Remember, not only important that you inhale, but the exhale is so important too. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Slowly lift your head up from the belly button, turn to the back of the chair, hold on to the back of a chair. We're going to do a lunge with a twist for a full minute. So you can have your toes tucked under, put the top of the foot down, just breathing here. Front ribs relax down, ears slide back over the shoulders a little bit. Stay connected with your breath. Keep feeling the belly button turn. Can you turn a little bit more from your waist? without leaning your torso back. 20 more seconds for a minute. And unwind your spine, slide that foot forward, spin around to the other side. So slide your knee back right under the hip, toes can be on top of the foot or toes tucked under, or you can switch halfway through, but we're gonna start by hanging our head down. So drop your chin down, relax the back of the neck, and inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Slowly lift your head up, turn from your belly button, and a minute starts now. Ribs relax down, ankles stable, head slides back. I encourage you to take a couple rib breaths here in this twist. Breathing is really a great way to find out where you're carrying some excessive tension. And rib breathing is an excellent way to exercise the muscles between your ribs. 20 more seconds on this side of the twist. Keep on turning from the belly button. And unwind and bring your leg forward and spin back around to the front of the chair. Okay, so here's where you're going to want to use something for these log raises. Grab something to use. Stretch your legs in front of you. Walk your feet a little bit to the right and maybe just ankles together, or maybe cross your ankle over, and your ankles are just going at a slight diagonal to the right. And then from here, you're holding onto whatever you want into your hands, and you're going to start over to the right a little bit, and you're going to lift up over to the right and lower down over to the right. Lift up over to the right, lower down slowly. Lift up over to the right, lower down slow. Lift up over to the right, lower down slow. Okay, bring your legs back to center. A little bit goes a long way. Slide them over to the left, maybe ankles together. Maybe right ankle crosses over left ankle. They're just a little bit veering over to the left. Your arms go over to the left. Go slow to start. Lift up over to the left. Lower down slow. Lift up over to the left and lower down slow. Lift up over to the left. Lower down slow, and lift up over to the left, and lower down slow. Uncross your ankles, bring your legs back to center, and then from here, with your legs center, you're going to still cross. So cross your right ankle over your left ankle, legs nice and straight, just another variation to sit. Circle your arms up into the air, hook your right thumb behind your left thumb and feel like you are pulling your thumbs away from each other, spreading your hands apart from each other. Keep pulling the thumbs as you side bend over to the right and come up slowly, pulling the thumbs gently over to the left and come up nice and slowly. Now, if you need to release your hands to do this, then release your hands, but switch the crossing of your legs, left ankle on front, switch the crossing of your thumbs, left thumb on back. Pull the thumbs apart from each other, ribs relax down, hands a little bit in front of the head, and then side bend over to the left, gently pulling on the thumbs, and come up and side bend over to the right, gently pulling on the thumbs, and then come back up and release your arms down, uncross your ankles, bend both of your knees, And from here, we're going to go to stretching the top of our foot. So our right top of the foot, or if you have your shoe on, your shoelace area tucks underneath the chair. Interlace your fingers, right pinky finger on the bottom. Press away, hands low, chest height. Spread the thumbs out. Now slowly rotate your ankle a little bit side to side. You're rotating from the pinky toe side of the foot to the big toe side of the foot. If the foot cramps, come out, let it relax. Same goes for when we do this later when we're standing. Shouldn't be painful, probably a little tighter on one side than the other. And then release your fingers, bring the right foot forward, tuck the left toe under, straight behind your knee, top of the foot. Interlace left pinky finger on the bottom, press away, spread your thumbs away from each other, and rotate that ankle a little bit side to side. Getting all the parts of the body moving. Gently spread the thumbs out. Notice your interlace. Does it splay apart? Can you get a more even interlace? What is your habit? Are you always up here? Can you bring your hands down a little bit? All right, release. Let's go back to the right foot. So ankles hip distance apart, tuck the top of the right foot under. This time you're just going to try to stay centered. So watch if your ankle tends to roll to one side, usually out to the side. Center the top of your foot. Bring the backs of your hands together as much as they'll come. Eventually see if you can touch your thumbs together. Notice if your fingers veer to one side or the other. Try to center them. And then from here, let's pull our elbows out a little bit and drop them down. Elbows pull out a little bit, drop them in. Elbows pull out a little bit, drop them in. Elbows pull out a little bit and drop them in. Okay, release your hands for a moment, switch feet. Right foot forward, left top of the foot tucks back behind you. One more time, bring the back of the hands together. Try to see if you can touch the thumbs. It will take some time if you're new to this. And then from here, see how much with the back of the hands touching, you can lower your hands down without them coming apart from each other, even a little bit. So if you need to start up high, start up high. Otherwise, you're dropping a little lower, and then we're just going to go side to side here with the back of the hands together. Can you relax your shoulders a little bit more? This is surprisingly super tense often the first handful of times you do it. It does get a lot better over time. You start to break up all the tension from your fingers to your shoulders. Breathing. All right, bring your hands back to center. Release that foot with your ankles right underneath your knees. Watch from the front. Try not to let your knees cave in. Try not to let your knees go way past your ankles. So as soon as your hips come up, you're trying to lift up and push your hips back to use the back of the legs to come up. Now you can, from here, work hip distance or a little lower than hip distance. You can put something on your chair to make the height a little higher so you don't have to sit back so low, and maybe you can control a little bit more of the motion. So sitting back in your hips, you're just going to tap the chair or the pillows and come up nice and slow. And from the side, you're trying not to do this. You're trying not to let your knees go forward. You're really sticking your buttocks back. And once you tap down, when you come up, you're trying not to do this. You're trying to keep your hips back as you come up to stand. From the front, watch those thighs collapsing in. We'll keep them open from the very top, not only on the way down, but also on the way up. Tap and come up. Very little momentum. You're sitting back using your muscle. You're coming up slow using your muscle. And if you feel like you have to fall, stack it even higher. Do less range of motion, get stronger and less range of motion, and your body will like that adaptation. Let's do one more. All right, from there, come around to the back of your chair. From the back of your chair, you're going to put your hands on the back of your chair or anything that's nearby, a counter, a fireplace, and walk back, push your hands back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Great opportunity to check if the outer edges of your feet are straight and your ankles are hip distance, which is something you can also practice when you're walking around. Relax your lower belly as much as you can. Pressing back through the thighs here. And then we're going to sit our hips back. So if your knees go past your ankles, walk your feet forward a little bit as you bend your knees and stick your buttocks back. Breathing. Push the thigh bones back. Getting a little more length through the sides of the spine, through the arms. Breathing. And then push into your feet to come up, and we'll grab whatever you're using for a calf stretch. I'm going to use a thin block today. Put the ball of your right foot up, your heel down on the floor, outer edges of feet straight. Maybe you step that outside foot forward, maybe not. From here, hips back over the heels, ribs relax down. Maybe one hand to your breastbone to feel that it stays dropped down into vertical, and we'll do some head ramping here. And it's not so much you're not trying to see how far you can get your head forward. We tend to already let our heads go forward. So if your neck is very stiff and it doesn't move very much, then maybe you would work a little bit more on bringing your head forward and sliding it back. But if you know, like me, that your head always tends to go forward, you don't really need to bring it forward much. You can just kind of let it relax and it will go there. And then you can slide your ears back over your shoulders without lifting your chin up into the air. So do that a few times. Head slides forward, ears slide back over the shoulders. All right, let's switch feet. So putting the ball of the opposite foot up, the heel down, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance. Maybe you step that outside foot forward a little bit. If you lose your balance, then don't. Keep it back to start. And then ribs relax down. Most important piece of ramping the head is that the ribs are relaxed down, lower belly relaxed. And ramp the head. Are you pulling your arm bones back? Relax your shoulders. They should be wide as you ramp the head. Breathing. Over time, when you go back, you should feel those upper back muscles turn on. Those are the same muscles that are going to prevent hunching in the long run. All right, from there, step off that block. So now we're going to do outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer right hip. Hug it in if it tends to pop out to the side. And tap your toes behind you. So you're doing some balancing on your standing leg, but you have this little kickstand behind you. And then the same arm of the leg that's behind you, you're going to turn that hand to face behind you and reach the arm up in the air and bring it back down. And then you're going to bring that foot forward, either tapping down or holding the foot in the air. Tap it back behind you, toes tucked under. Rotate your palm so your thumb faces forward. Lift the arm into the air and lower down. And then bring that foot forward, either putting it down or just hanging out and working on your pelvic list. Bring your toes back behind you. Rotate your palm to face forward. Arm lifts up and lower down. And then bring that foot forward. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. So some of your awareness is always on the balancing leg. You're pushing down. You're not letting the hip pop out to the side, and takes more time, but you're trying to keep your weight back over your heels. It's easier to balance sometimes when our pelvis is forward. Back your weight up into your heels, pushing down through your outer left hip, hugging it in, and then the right toes tap back, palm faces behind you, lift the arm up without lifting the ribs up, hand comes down, float the foot forward, tap it back, toes tuck under, rotate the thumb to face forward, lift the arm up. You're still focusing on that standing leg. Bring the hand down, bring the foot forward, and tap the toes back. Rotate the palm forward, slowly lift up, and slowly go down and bring that foot back forward. Now let's come back to a calf stretch. Put the ball of your right foot up, your heel down, outer edges of feet straight, and you're just going to see where your range of motion is, where you don't feel like you're leaning forward a lot, where you don't feel like you're clenching your muscles, where you don't feel like you're losing your balance. It might be from back here to a little bit up here, so you might just do that range of motion, stepping forward and back, Or over time, you might have a range of motion where your feet are equal and you can step it forward a little bit without leaning forward and losing your balance. But start where you are. I can't emphasize that enough. You'll get a lot better results if you start where you are. And you're just stepping your outside foot forward and back. And I was even finding that I was leaning forward a little bit there. So I'm going to try not stepping my foot quite so far forward. And let's switch sides. Ball of the foot up, heel down, outer edges of feet straight, push down, a little bit of pelvic list work going on, and footsteps forward and back. And you choose the range of motion. It's not a big step. The heel stays grounded the whole time. So if the heel even comes up a little bit, then you know you went too far. Okay, step off of there. All right, let's go back to a little balancing practice. And by the way, you can always use your hands on the chair. Much better to use your hands if it keeps your hips back over your heels. So from here, pushing down through that outer right hip, hugging it in, left foot pops up from ankle flexion, top of the foot, rotate one way, rotate the other way, come back to center, foot comes back, and you're working on the balancing leg. Top of the foot, same side. Rotate one way, rotate the other way, back to center, push down, hug that standing leg hip in, bring it back to floating, lower the foot down. Eventually, you'll be able to push down so much through one hip that just flexing the ankle will come up off the floor without you bending the knee or hiking the hip up. If you feel that you have to hike the hip up or bend the knee, which is common, which I did at first too, it just means that you haven't woken up these muscles yet. So keep at it. I promise you they'll turn on. Mine were practically dead when I first started doing this. So you just have to keep thinking about pressing down through this area. Pushing down through the left hip, the right foot comes up, weight backs up into the heel, top of the foot behind you, rotate a little one way, rotate a little the other way. You're trying not to let your hips turn. It's just your thigh bone and ankle. Push down, balancing leg, float the foot forward, and then tuck the top of the foot behind you. Rotate a little one way, rotate a little the other way, bring that foot back to floating, and lower the foot down. Bring your hands to the back of the chair, walk back, two straight arms, two straight legs. Bring both of your hands as far over to one side of the chair as they'll go, and push your hips straight back. Breathing. And walk both your hands as far over to the other side as they'll go. And push your hips straight back. Breathing. Can your thigh bones go back a little bit more? Okay, come on up. Grab your strap or whatever you use for a strap. Hold on to it, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance, hips back over the heels. Hold on to it behind your back, taut. So it's behind your back, taut. There's no looseness hanging down. Your hands are just by your side, palms face forward, so the back of your hands face away. Your thumbs are sticking out to the side. You've got a little tiny bend in your elbows, and you're lifting and lowering. Now, if your arms do this, they extend when you lift them, then make the strap take your hands a little wider. If, when you try to lift off your back, your hands don't go anywhere, take your hands a little bit wider. And it doesn't have to be high. Lift and lower. But for people who have hypermobility in their elbows, sometimes it's hard to tell and they don't realize their arms are straightening out all the way. So you have to really try to keep that elbow bend, or I advise looking in the mirror at first. I used to have a lot of hypermobility in my elbows, and it's getting just slowly better, a little bit at a time. Breathing. Let's do a few more like this. Weight back, hips over the heels. Ribs stay relaxed down and back. Good. And then from there, you can put that strap down. And from here, you're going to walk back with your big toes touching, push your hips back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, and we're just going to stay in each one for a moment. You're going to lift your torso up a little, step your feet wider than hip distance apart, push your hips back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. You want your hips to maybe go behind your ankles, come up a little, heel toe your feet a little bit wider, outer edges of the feet straight. Push your hips back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, and then walk your feet a little bit wider like a warrior stance and push your hips back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. And then keep your weight back in your heels, back your hips up more, press through the back of the legs, your feet are wide. Now you're going to want to use something to use for log raises, standing log raises. You can use your block, you can use a heavy pillow. I'm going to use a rolled up mat this time, which this mat is quite a bit heavier. So whatever it is, your feet are wide, your weight back in your heels, your hands can be wider or shoulder distance apart. Think of your ribs staying down and back even while standing, and lift up nice and slowly and lower down. If the elbows pop out a lot, hug them in just a little bit. Lift nice and slowly and lower down. 2 more like that. Lift nice and slowly and lower down, ribs down and back more. Lift nice and slowly and lower down and back. And you might have seen that when I dropped my ribs down and back, I couldn't lift this as high because it started to use different muscles that I don't use as much. Whatever you're using, bend your knees, stick your buttocks back so you can put it down on the floor for a moment. Come back up, but in a squat with your elbows by your side, open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Now you can use the same thing or something different. Lean forward, pick it up. If you're using a rolled up mat, try to put the flat part underneath your hands. Legs are straight, hips over heels, back them up, ribs drop down. Slowly lift and lower. So keep doing them. What I want to tell you is that when my ribs are slightly lifted, I feel more work here. When I drop my ribs down and back, I feel more of almost like the whole shoulder blade area. So keep it going. And you should do about 4 of them. I'll do 1 less since I was talking. And then lower down, put it down, squatting back carefully, and then come on up. Bring your elbows as close as they'll come. Little lifts, up and down, up and down, up and down. Sit back in a squat, up and down. Find that center, pull your forearms apart, together, apart, together, apart, together, apart, together. Press into your legs. Now your feet are wide. You want your chair back behind you, back in front of you. So your feet are wide, your arms are straight. Sit back, bend your knees so far that you can straighten your arms all the way. And then press up, walk your feet in a step. Sit back, bend your knees, nice long spine. Come up, walk your feet in a step, not quite hip distance apart, a little wider. Sit back, bending your knees, breathing. Come up, walk your big toes all the way to where they're touching. Sit back, bend your knees, breathing. And press up. Okay, step up closer to the chair with your feet straight, ankles hip distance. Sit back into a chair pose and just shift your hips a little right to left here. Very small, very small. You don't want to feel a lot of sensation in the knees, so it's a small sensation of the hips. And then how about letting the hips go forward and back a little? So the knees maybe go forward over the ankles and back up. Next time you're back and centered, step your right leg back into a lunge. Bring your right hand forward, hand to your shoulder. Elbow lifts up a little. Open the elbow to the side. Curl the elbow in. Open. Curl in. 2 more. Open. Curl in. Open. curl in, bring the hand down, push into the heel of the front foot, the ball of the back foot to step up. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Sit back. Step your left leg back into a lunge. Center that back foot. Reach your left arm forward, hand to the shoulder, elbow up. Open a little, close. Go slow. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Hand comes down. Push into the heel of the front foot. Push off the ball of the back foot. Step up. Sit back into a chair pose. Maybe cross your right ankle over your left knee. Sit back a little. Go slow. How about knee goes forward a little? Knee goes back. Shin slides back. Forward a little. As far back as you can go. How about side to side? A little goes a long way. Side to side. Good. Switch legs. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Sit back. Cross your left ankle over. Sit your hips back. Knee goes forward a little. Go back as far as you can. Forward a little. Gently back as far as you can. Stay back as your hips go side to side. Side to side. Good. Uncross that ankle. Sit back into a chair pose. Step your right leg back into a lunge. And then from there, take your right arm or left arm, and twist yourself open from the belly button. Bring the hand down. Push off the ball of your back foot to step up. Sit back. Step your left leg back. Your right knee is bent just right over your ankle, not going past it. And twist open from your belly button. Your right arm opens, breathing. And lower the hand down. Push off the ball of your back foot to press down to step up. And then walk back. 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, breathing. And come up and have a seat in your chair. So, we are going to work on some rib breathing. And a great tool for rib breathing is using your strap as tactile feedback. So you can tie it around the base or the center of your rib cage, really below your chest muscles, below your breast tissue. Tie it nice and snug. It's below your armpit, like maybe an inch below your armpit, but above your belly button quite a bit. Several inches above your belly button. Of course, this is depending on how long your torso is, but just an approximation, because I often see people tie too high chest, which is where we don't want to breathe, and too low belly, which is also where we don't want to be breathing mostly. We want to breathe into our rib cage more. So get it tight, nice and snug if you're using a strap. And then from here, we'll start out with just moving our neck and our arms. So sitting up tall, ribs relax down. Slowly drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Reach your left hand forward. Start low below your knee. Reach it out slowly. And slowly go low and across. Bring the arm back over your knee. Lift a little higher. Go out slowly and across. Right ear still to right shoulder. Come back over your knee. A little higher. You're just barely making shoulder height now. Out to the side. Palm is face up. Take it across in front at that higher height. Come back about shoulder height now. Open out to the side. And bring it across in front slowly. Good. Take that arm out to the side slowly. Internal rotation. Turn the thumb down. Wrap the arm behind the back any amount without force. Slide it out. Wrap it through. Slide it out. Rotate your palm back up. Slowly bring your head up as your hand comes in. And let's do the other side. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Left ear go really slow since we just stretched out that side. Left ear to left shoulder. At first, your head might not go over much. You might feel like you have to lean your torso over. Try not to lean your torso. Just let your neck go over no matter how small. Start your hand low, right hand over the knee. Slowly open and slowly bring it across in front. Come back over your knee, hand a little bit higher. Slowly open and slowly across in front. Feel how the tension from the fingers to the neck are connected. Back over your knee, a little bit higher, not quite shoulder height. Slowly open. Slowly bring it across. Keep relaxing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Back over your knee, a little bit higher. Slowly open. And slowly across. Bring your arm out to your side, ear dropping to the shoulder. Rotate the palm of your hand, thumb turns down. Wrap behind your back any amount. Slide it through. If it's not forceful, nothing should hurt. Reach it out. Slide it through behind you. Reach it out. Rotate your palm all the way up as you bring your head up and your hand down. Okay, from here, bring your arms by your sides. Split your arms apart. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Ribs are down and back. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. From there, bring your arms in front of you, elbows touching or as close as they come. Without lifting your ribs, lift your arms up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Drop your elbows down a little, split your forearms, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Bring your hands back together, open them down, open them up to the side, relax your arms down, pelvis upright, ribs relax down, turn your neck slowly all the way to the right as much as it will go. Hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slowly turn your head all the way over to the left. Hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. Bring your head back to center. Put your hands behind your head. Any crossing works. We're just going to do it once. And then with your ribs dropping down, lean your head back into your hands as far as you can without force. Your chin drops down. You're leaning your head back without lifting your ribs up. Ribs down. Head goes back. Might not be much at first. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Into the strap. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Away from the strap. And then lift your arms into the air and fold forward onto your knees here. Any amount, nice and slowly. Relax your head down. Take another breath. Feel it travel along your spine. And then from there, come up, stretch your legs straight, heels down, toes up, and take a little forward fold there. It's okay if your spine rounds, your head hangs down. Breathing. And slowly come up and sit all the way back in your chair for final pose, Savasana. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Become very present with your body. Become very present with your breath. Stay present with your body and your breath. Consistent self-discipline will bring you more long-term, lasting results than any easy path or quick fix plan. Be easy on yourself, but persistent in your growth. Consistent self-discipline will bring you more long-term, lasting results than any easy path or quick fix plan. Be easy on yourself, but persistent in your growth. Bringing your hands together at heart center in gratitude for this day. Give a lot of thanks for yourself that you keep coming back and consistently practicing, and not only while you're in class, but while you're out of class, checking your feet, your ankles, your pelvis, your rib cage, your ears sliding back over your shoulders. Day by day, keep on checking, and over time, things will just start to open up and shift. Keep practicing. Be patient, be persistent, be gentle. Namaste. Watch how you get out of the chair.